All right, guys. What? The way I'm starting?
I thought you were gonna test the mic some more.
The mics have been tested good. We're starting, guys.
All right.
We're back to another episode of the Mike Lenoci Show. Week 6 in the books.
Almost.
Pretty much. We're watching the game right now live as we record this episode, so that's fun. Right now, Cowboys lead 10-7, but Chargers about to get the ball back. Low-scoring game. I bet the over, but teased it down to 41 and still might not hit the over.
No.
So whatever, losing money there. We're always losing money because when you gamble, you lose because you never always win because you'll keep going and eventually you'll lose more than you've ever bet. And that's my lesson of the day. But we start this week off with more apologies from Anthony because the season has not gone how he thought it would go, and the season is going exactly how I said it would go. In regards to, by the way, they're showing Jimmy Johnson on the screen. Do you know Jimmy Johnson and the owner of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, do not talk?
Really?
To this day, they haven't spoke a word to each other since they have parted ways like 30 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Talk
weird.
about spiteful bitterness.
They're probably in like one or two suites over from each other too.
Probably. I'm sure maybe there's like been some passings and like a high or something. Who knows? But basically, if Jerry Jones didn't have his ego, Jimmy Johnson might have stayed in Dallas for 10 years and had more championships. Who knows?
Yeah. Hopefully they win this game.
Hopefully. Maybe they'll talk after the game. Yeah. But here we are, 5 weeks in, and the best record in the NFL is a 4-way tie. But one of the teams is one of the teams is who, dude?
The Dolphins.
Yeah, man. Usually people talk into the mic, but yours is to the side.
I like this a lot better because we changed the setup around today, so we got the TV in here, and I don't have to just stare at you. So I can stare
Nice.
at the
That
TV.
is better. That's fine. I want you staring at the TV. From now on, we should always just watch the Monday night game as we do the podcast.
Yeah, I like it.
And right now, we got a defensive struggle right now. It's 10-7. Halfway through the third, there's no way they're getting over 40 points. I mean, I would need 2 quick touchdowns here.
I mean, both these teams can
Easily
score, but
yes, but it's a little frustrating. It seems like the Chargers are moving the ball. The drive before was a 4th and inches, and they do a play action rollout, and he throws an incomplete pass that's almost picked off in the end zone. I don't understand the call there from Kellen Moore when you have a 6'6" quarterback, and all over the league you're watching these people do a quarterback sneak with the butt push.
tush push.
You don't even need to do that with him. He literally could just reach over and it's a first down. Blows my mind. But what do I know? I've just been watching the NFL for 30 years. But, whatever. It's the oldest play in the book that works. But whatever. I mean, even Tom Brady, literally, 4th and short, what was Tom Brady doing? Everybody knew he was doing a quarterback sneak. But you wanted to get cute, and for whatever reason, you're now driving still down. Losers. Anyways, we start off week 6. There's 4, 5-1 teams. And, if I had to tell you, and I'm being honest, and I'm not being a Dolphin right now, if I had to sit here and say, of the 5-1 teams, if they all played each other, I would say we would go 3-1. And I would say the Chiefs would go 3-1. And I'd say the 49ers would go 3-1. And I'd
Is that
say
possible?
no, but not.
Oh,
it's
no.
not physically possible. But like if in a weird universe,
Yeah.
they all would go 3-1
Except
against those good teams.
Except for Philly.
Philly might go 2-2. Yeah.
Okay.
To be honest, I think they look the weakest of them.
Yeah, but
and ironically, that's the matchup we have going forward.
It seems like they have the best roster out of all those teams, so almost besides maybe the Niners, but
Niners, I would put best roster defensively because of their defensive.
Yeah, they're so good defensively.
I mean, yeah, you could argue that, but I mean, right now, Chiefs only scored 1 touchdown against the Broncos.
Yeah.
Hurts through 3 picks.
Like
Purdy seems a little. Hey, without McCaffrey, seems a little exposed. That's all I'm saying. Right now, the flaw of Miami is the run defense, which is just there's not a flaw on offense right now. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So all the other teams have flaws. If you're going to say the Dolphins had a flaw, it would be the run defense, which they've only allowed 1 rusher for over 300 yards, for over 100 yards, and that was the Chargers, week 1. And also, we can keep up with anyone.
Yeah.
So I just want you to say, I'm sorry. Do you still think that, it's early, the season could go a different way? Are you still going to take that train? Or are you going to die on that hill? Or do you want to finally be like, I was wrong, Miami's going to be in the playoffs, and they're good?
They'll be in the playoffs, but...
They'll be in the playoffs now. So there's a little change.
Yeah, I think... we still got a long way to go to win the division. I mean, last week you were sitting here talking about Super Bowl and the AFC Championship.
A what?
Super Bowl and the AFC Championship.
Well, since the beginning of the year, I said that
was
our bet. But I'm saying...
I think you go into every year saying what you said this year, and this is the first year you've been right.
No, I did not say that last year. Last year, I was like, our goal is to get to the playoffs.
Okay.
That's what I said, because with that Flores team, I thought, hey, our goal is to get to the playoffs, and we did. Mm-hmm. I did not think this year my goal was they have to win a playoff game for sure.
Okay.
But I did make a prediction that they would get to the AFC Championship. I said I did not say Super Bowl, but now through 6 weeks, I'm sitting here going, I don't fear anyone. I don't fear anyone, whereas other years you feared someone. I don't fear a team, and I think that's fun. I've never had a team where we don't fear anyone. All I'm bringing light to is that, at the beginning of the year, I told you I thought Patriots had the least talented team on paper, and that's become prevalent.
Yeah, because of the injuries. I know it's unfortunate, man. You didn't think our best two players would go down like they did, but they did. Well, I mean, they would have beat the Raiders last week if.
What?
I think Pats would have won last week if Judon and Gonzalez were healthy.
Maybe.
They can't get to the quarterback. They have the biggest difference of the past 2 years. Mac's first year, the reason Mac looked decent his first year is because he had a great O-line. O-line is the worst I've ever seen right now. He doesn't get any time. So obviously he doesn't look great. He made some terrible passes, but it's also like, dude, I mean, he doesn't get more than 3 seconds in there. The reason Jimmy G has a job is because he gets the ball out really quick.
Nobody's sitting here saying anything good about Jimmy G right now.
But I'm saying the only reason he has a job is because he can get the ball out accurately very quickly.
Yeah, but he's
within
still...
2 seconds, the ball is out.
Nobody was sold on him, and everybody understands why he went to the Raiders and the 49ers moved on from him, though.
Yeah.
Because he lacked some sort of... He made some bad throws and some mistakes. But the point being is... I think that the Patriots have a lot of decisions they have to make moving forward. Do you, as a fan, we talked about this last week, don't you want to be in the Caleb Williams running?
I do, but then you see the stuff comes out when he's saying he has his favorite teams. There's got to be a lot of validity to that, right?
Sure, but I think that a lot of that can change and be persuaded when agents and other people get involved and they talk about what a prestigious franchise this is. Yeah. And we're talking about, that's not till April. We're talking about over 6-7 months from now of persuasion, money, contracts, people being like, look at what type of people. Tom Brady flying over there, having a conversation with the kid and being like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, Tom Brady's friends with Robert Kraft. Don't forget that. If they were in that situation, you don't think Tom Brady wants the next greatest goat to go to play with New England? I mean, actually, he would want them to go play. Actually, maybe he wouldn't because he's associated with the Raiders.
Associated with the Raiders, and I think he's a Niners fan. So there's like a few teams where I could see him kind of...
But he's still, Robert Kraft goes, hey, let's say the Raiders are sitting there at 8-9, just missed the playoffs. They're not in that world.
Yeah.
And Robert Kraft's like, can you get this kid, maybe send him a phone? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What is he? Look, there's 4 to 5. There's going to be 5 quarterbacks taken in the top 10. And I know a few weeks ago we argued that if the Panthers had the first round pick, would they take Caleb Williams? At this point, from what I'm hearing around the league, this guy is like the number 1 pick of all number 1 picks. Yeah. They're saying more than luck, more than anybody. Whoever has the first round pick is not trading it. They're just taking it, regardless. And even if that is Chicago. And at this point, Chicago has the option to maybe, if Fields doesn't go next week and they drop to 1-6, they're in an interesting situation.
So if you're the Patriots...
It's hard because Belichick's not going to tank.
No, but also...
But if you want to tank, you can't fire the greatest coach of all time, the second greatest coach of all time, I should say.
But you can't, technically third.
He's technically is the first, actually, with championships.
Yeah, and playoff... We looked at a weird list last time. That was the regular season list. He was third. I think he's second in all time, including playoffs. Yeah, and I think his goal is to get to both.
The record is both. They said it this week. So he is, but he still is.
Like 17 away?
Like 20. It's like, it's 18 wins away from Shula, which you got to think would take 3 seasons.
Yeah.
He's definitely not going to be with the Patriots for 3 seasons. So they were talking about, like, if he gets it, does he go somewhere else, and where would he go?
Well, that's what Adam Schefter was saying. He's like, even if the Patriots decide to move on from him, he's not just going to stop coaching football. It's his whole life. And he also, this past month, just got divorced as well.
He did?
Yeah. So this is his whole life. And
Bill Belichick got divorced at 75? Like,
yeah, and his wife is hot.
Why are you getting divorced at 75?
He must. This is all he cares about. Just football, probably just not.
She's probably like, hey, let's call it. Let's call it.
Yeah, probably. He's 71.
71.
I think he's the oldest coach.
Oh man, that's tough. Now you feel bad for him because they're about to go.
He'll go somewhere else, right? I mean, I could see him going to but Adam Schefter was saying you can't just fire him. It has to be a mutual parting ways. But the thing that, as a fan, the thing that pisses me off is
Bills' next two games for the Patriots. Bills, Dolphins. They obviously have a bye in between there, I think, right? They have a bye next week? No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't have a bye, so they're going to be 1-7. And then the Commanders and Colts are games they could win.
Yeah.
But at 1-7,
after the game, I was making jokes. I said,
you're hoping you start rooting for them to lose. At 1-7, you want them.
Any
to lose.
given week, anything can happen. Though we just saw the Browns beat the Niners. Like Patriots should have beat the Dolphins that one game. They blew that game.
Nobody said that. They shouldn't have. They didn't score until the fourth quarter. They made an effort in the fourth. They shouldn't have won any games yet this year. What do you mean?
Yeah, they should have. They should have beat the Dolphins. They had that game within reach, and then there was another. The Eagles game was in reach as well.
Are we starting to argue for no reason? Or are you being realistic about the Patriots?
I'm being realistic. A lot of Patriots fans are pissed about that they lost to the Dolphins.
They shouldn't have won it though. Nobody said that. Nobody.
So I'm just kind of stating like one of those like an observational fact that a lot of people have said, and your kind of fandom is kind of blinding you from that.
Hold on, I'll go through the game, and not as a fan, I'll go through all their games, and I'll sit.
That was a very winnable game for both teams, and the Dolphins won, so you should be happy.
No, but that's
all
not.
All I'm saying is, as a Patriot fan, you look at that game and think, we had that game.
No, you look at that game and go, oh, we could have tied it on that last drive, which you didn't. You could have tied it.
Yeah, they should have.
That they should have maybe tied it, but that. You didn't score any points until the fourth quarter. You played bad for 3 quarters, so there were those should have, would have won. If I go look at their schedule now, and you want to go should have won,
it was a competitive game. The whole game.
It was a competitive game until the fourth. It was. Before that, it wasn't. So it was a bad game. Now, what was a competitive game was Eagles Patriots. You had the ball and a chance to win it on a game-winning drive. You could say that's something you could say. Oh, they should have won that. Okay, the second game. It's 17-3 with 5 minutes.
I'm not changing my opinion here.
That's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
That's fine.
And a lot of people have said that.
That's fine. But for the viewers and anyone watching, I'm logically talking here. Okay, and then the Jets won. The Jets game, you won.
Yep.
All right. Cowboys killed you. Saints killed you. So those are 2 blowouts. So really, are you saying they should have won last night too then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Devontae Parker catches that ball.
Okay.
The refs really fucked us as well on that Zeke call. They call it a blatant holding call that wasn't even, the guy barely even touched him.
The thing about the NFL is any team can go through their schedule and pick out things and go, I should have won.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just the NFL in general.
Yeah.
But in this case, there are 2 blowouts.
2 blowouts, yes. The other games were all very winnable.
What?
I said, yeah, there are 2 blowouts, but the other games that they lost were very winnable.
I wouldn't say very winnable, but they had a chance to be in the game. I will say that. I'm just not going to say very winnable. I wouldn't say even like watching last night, I was like, I thought that they had a chance, but I wouldn't say it was a very winnable game. I thought it's 2 equally matched coaching matchups right now. If
Devontae Parker catches the ball that was in his hands, then they
have a better chance, but we got to see what happens. The ball's at the 50, yes.
Yeah.
Well, we got to see what happens. But that's the whole point is they don't have good players. Mm-hmm. They got to make that catch.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, going forward, you root for them to not win.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
I don't think Caleb Williams is going to go there anyways. And
but there's 4 other quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't think. And
don't you want a top 10 pick?
Not really, dude. Because if Belichick's the coach, then I don't care. I don't care who the.
You think he's the coach next year?
I said if he's the coach, I don't care.
I think at this point it's pretty.
Unless he's not getting fired, so he's going to either retire
so he's not,
or
yeah,
resign.
but don't you think it's pretty understood widely that he's not the coach next year?
No, not at all.
You don't think so?
Not at all. Adam Schefter said that there's no way he leaves the Patriots. Adam Schefter knows more.
Probably. But then, I just think from what I'm hearing, I think this is his last year.
Okay.
If there was a way to bet it, I would bet that he's there. I don't think he gets fired. I don't think you can fire him.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to want to rebuild with him, and I don't think they're going to be on the same page
He
about
seems
rebuilding.
Too stubborn. He's like with this whole Juju Smith-Schuster thing over Jacoby Myers. Even like the personnel thing. I think his kind of thing is that he can win with anybody. So I think he's very hesitant, and he puts the team first and no players. He doesn't think any player matters. You know what I'm saying? Which I think it's getting tough for these really young guys to play for a guy like that, and he's got to kind of change his ways a little bit. Maybe get a young coordinator in there. I don't think Bill O'Brien's offensive coordinator is. I don't think his scheme is built for a guy like Mac Jones with no offensive line. I think it's kind of built for like more.
You know what you're going through right now? 31 other NFL franchise fans had to go through stuff like this in the last 15 years.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be a really awkward way to have a 12-5 season, but it'll be fun. And then at least. Do
you think they win 5 games?
I do. Yeah.
Do you think you win 5 games? Do you think that you're 1-7 after the next 2 weeks? Do you think you win?
Well, thankfully we still got some division games coming up. Thankfully.
Do you think you beat the Bills or Dolphins in the next 2 weeks?
I do. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. I mean, those division games can go either way.
I think you could sneakily. Oh wow. Oh wow.
I got Pollard on my fans.
Is that Pollard?
Oh wow. Yeah, it's Pollard.
I think you could easily. I don't think easily. I think you could. You could catch the Bills off guard right now. For whatever reason, there's something going on.
I don't think since I've been alive, I don't think you haven't beat the Bills at least once in a season as a Patriots
You guys?
fan. Yeah, we never got
swept. It's a different
by
era
the Bills.
now.
Yeah.
It's the Josh Allen era.
But Josh Allen's been in the league for 5 years. No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't know. Is that a fact? Can you look it up, or you know for sure?
I'll look it up.
Because I feel like Josh Allen's, he's gotten.
What do I look up? Bills versus Patriots.
Yeah, 12-4 in the last few years. Almost every year. Did he not beat the Patriots both times last year? I know we took one against him.
No, not last
But he
year.
lost 4 games last year. But obviously you guys can tell that this feels good. Feels good because he's 25. He's had a fun career to his start of his life.
So this is so you have a different perspective of that. You think, okay, I look at it as like I know how to deal with things. You're at a different perspective. You're almost 40, and it's like you don't know how it feels to win.
Yeah.
So you're like
I'm doing exactly what
you're looking. You're like, okay, I was 4 years old when they won the first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you're 40. So it's like, so you're
39.
like, so you're like, what's it called? When somebody stands up for the first time, you're trying to figure out how to be a winning team, how to be a winning fan.
Well, we were a winning team in the 90s. We went to the playoffs like 8 out of 10 years. So I understood how to do it. And I've seen, 3 championships in basketball, 2 in baseball. So I'm aware of what it's like to win a championship from a team and a national championship with college football. But it's fun because a Patriots fan at your age doesn't understand how the NFL works, where it's like every 4 years there's a different king besides the Chiefs. They're going to have a dynasty because of Mahomes. But every team goes through its up and downs. It's kind of just how good the NFL is.
Yeah.
Even with how good your quarterback is, it's like it already seems like, all right, once you pay these quarterbacks, like what's going to happen with some of these teams? And we're about to find out with the Chargers and the Bengals, and it goes up and down. And maybe the Bills, how many they got? Like it feels like the Bills have a 3-year window, and then they're gonna have to go through like a mid 8 and 9 year, right? Not a tanking because they're too good of a quarterback, but the Patriots had 22 seasons of only missing the playoffs twice in those 22 years. That's not a real way of living. So it's fun to see the realization of being like, oh, now you're just like a regular NFL fan now. You're like everyone else. You're not like a Bears fan, but you're like You're not like a Browns fan, but you're like everyone else in the league. Like, yeah, it's going to go up and down for a while unless you get lucky and get a Mahomes, which they only come around once every 25 years.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's what's funny. It's like it's a unique thing that's never happened before. No one's ever had 22 years of success and then fall off. It's just crazy. It's almost like you're a famous comedian that gets canceled and loses everything. It's really what it's the closest thing to. Whereas even the Browns fans, they made the playoffs and beat the Steelers 3 years ago. Yeah. That's awesome for them, right? Everybody gets these little wins. 49ers were bad for 8 years. Now they're fucking the dominant team again.
Yep.
Cowboys were bad for fucking 15 years. Now they're in the playoffs every year, right?
Yeah.
So it's just Chargers can never. They were the Dolphins of the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Because they would make the playoffs with Phillip Rivers, but could never get to the championship.
Yeah.
So you're just going. I said you're going through a dark age. The dark ages have arrived in New England.
I don't like when you say that because it could change next year. You could get.
It could change next year, but you're gonna have a new quarterback next year. That's already in. Everybody agrees. You're moving on from Mac Jones next year. I think that you would have a new coach next year, and you just start over. And if you start over, it's hard to be winning that year too. So maybe 2 years removed from being competitive if the draft pick turns out to be good.
But like I wouldn't consider like for instance the Commanders. I wouldn't say they're going through a dark age, but they're going through like a young quarterback, newer coach type thing.
A dark age would be like.
But like so if that's what like even like the Texans, brand new coach, brand new quarterback.
But all it takes is if the pick doesn't work out, you're in a dark age. So like when you enter a dark age, it's when you have to re-pick like the Jets. The Jets were like entering a dark age. It seems like they're out of it right now.
Yeah.
But like if you pick a first round quarterback and that quarterback doesn't work out, it extends your dark age. That's what it really is.
Well, that's kind of what happened. Mac Jones was like the 11th or 12th overall pick.
But it's a mild dark age, right?
Yeah.
Because you missed the playoffs 3. This will be the 4th year in a row you missed the playoffs.
No, they were in the playoffs in 2021 season.
Yeah. So you'll miss the playoffs 3 years in a row, and then you got to think next year.
It would be so. The first year we missed the playoffs was last year. Because it was the 2021-22 season, they made the playoffs and got bounced by the Raiders.
Oh, so you
or by the Bills. By the Bills.
The year before that, you missed the playoffs. That's what it was. So you missed the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
So that's what it was. So you missed the playoffs.
3
out of the last 4 years, and then assuming you get a new quarterback, either way, Mac's not the guy, and I don't know what's going to happen. But if I'm a Patriots fan, I'm rooting for them to lose because I want one of these studs. They think this is the best quarterback class ever. So. That's all I'm saying, and I've been in your situation.
Like, what do you think happens to Mac Jones? Because he's
still under contract.
So, but he's like he's younger than me, so he could still like figure out a career.
But I mean, he's
even just like he goes. I believe in this team. We're almost figuring it out. We just got to keep swinging. That's what he said last night.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the schedule doesn't help him for a couple weeks. That's all. I mean, I hope they can beat the Bills.
I think you want division games. Those division games can go either way.
I hope they can beat the Bills. I don't think they have a chance against the Dolphins at home. I think we already played in New England. I think next week Buffalo goes to New England, so that's why I think they have a chance.
Yeah.
And maybe you can catch Bills off because they looked horrible against the Giants.
Yeah.
And that's one of the worst teams. So a dangerous team is a team with their back against the wall. I don't want to play a 1-5 team.
Yeah.
They're scary. It's the same thing with the Giants. Like, listen, I don't want to play the Giants next week. I don't know who the Giants are playing, but they're
Commanders.
Pissed. Who?
Commanders.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they got a win. They're very close to getting a win. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Moving on to starting our podcast off, we're getting the feelings going because we like it and it feels good. And I'm paying respect to all the Dolphin fans that had to go through bullshit throughout their lives. I almost wish Anthony was a Jet fan, but they're trending up right now.
I got a Raiders jersey on right now.
Yeah, that's how I would never wear another team's jersey.
I'm in a very unique situation. Yeah.
The Broncos. Is it time to start Stidham?
Stidham, yeah, dude.
Broncos are done. The Broncos are now worse this year than they were last year.
Yeah. I think Sean Payton's the biggest douchebag in football.
Yeah, it was very unlikable the way he started.
Yeah. And then you're like, okay, well, it's still Sean Payton. He'll back it up, but nothing.
Let's go. Dallas about to score here.
Whoa, good block by Pollard. Nice.
Who's that? Who's number 3?
Number 3.
Oh,
Brandon Cooks.
Welcome to the game. Brandon Cooks for a touchdown. Dallas up 17-10.
Let's go.
With a little over 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That puts us at 27 points. Can we get 2 more touchdowns in this game?
I think so. I mean, the Chargers can score 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes.
Oh, man, if the Chargers drop this, 2-3 to start the year.
And the Raiders are looking second place, dude.
Let's not get delusional, guys.
With the Bears next week, 4-3 coming up. Wild card.
For now, through 7 with 10 games to go. But Broncos got to move on from Russell Wilson. And it's fine. Yeah. Sean Payton gets a free year to rebuild. Yeah. And you're looking at a quarterback, and now they're looking at.
Oh, for sure.
I think you got to bench Wilson because now you got to be going for Caleb.
Yeah.
And you got to trade some guys to get some draft capital. I don't even know if they have a first-round pick. Wish I had a guy that could do something about that and let me know. But, we didn't know we were going to talk about that. Yeah, we did. We should have been more prepared, but we don't get prepared. We don't do that here. Broncos are in trouble. Sean Payton stays. They're in the rebuilding stage. They are legitimately in the middle of a dark age right now, and they have been, and they thought they were going to get out of it by getting Wilson, but they are on like a 6-7 year playoff drought ever since Peyton Manning retired. So what am I saying? They had
yeah, they have
Tim Tebow won a playoff game with them.
If the season ended today, they would have the 3 overall pick.
So they have a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. They're going for it.
And the season ended today, Chicago would have the first 2.
Unbelievable. And
wow.
You know what? They would have to take Caleb.
Yeah.
They would have to take Caleb, and you would trade.
Or they could just get the best.
You could probably get a first-round pick for Fields, even if you could only get 2 seconds.
New England would have the 6th overall. Here's the thing, dude.
Would you trade that for Fields?
That's what I was going to propose earlier in the show. That's what I was saying.
Why not?
Because, I was pissed because I think Fields was drafted 10th and Jones was drafted 15th. So Fields was the quarterback pick right before Jones. I thought the Patriots were going to get Justin Fields.
I would love to take that.
Looks like Arizona might have 2 picks in the top 12, too, because they have Houston's pick.
I wonder what they're going to do with, Kyler Murray's out there, too. Do they keep him, or does he start this year? Does he play in 3 weeks? Like, what's the timeline on him? Or do they just shut him down the whole year?
I might as well shut him down with all these quarterbacks coming out. What if you're the Patriots? Kyler Murray. Not terrible.
Not terrible, but, these are things to think
bit.
about. As long as you're thinking about the future like that. You know what I was doing in your situation? I was watching a lot of college football and figuring out who was going to be coming out, and I knew all the first-round picks.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Everybody's saying J.J. McCarthy.
Who?
From Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
Is he a defensive end?
No, he's the quarterback.
J.J. McCarthy?
From Michigan.
There you go. That's how much I know about them.
Yep. Drake May looks good as well.
I know Drake May.
He looks really good.
Caleb Williams, and I like picks. What's his name on Washington?
Oh, Penix.
Penix.
Oh, dude, he's
I
so
like
good.
him the most. Actually, I think he throws some nice little lasers.
Yeah,
I've liked
him. He was good in Indiana a few years ago. Transferred.
There's a lot of fun quarterbacks coming out. Ravens beat the Titans. The Titans are who we thought they are. They're 2-4, and it's going to be a longer year for them.
Yeah, that's one of the only games I didn't want to bet on because before going into this game, we didn't really have a clear-cut view on either of those teams. That could have gone either way.
We both took the Ravens. Yeah, because the Ravens looked shaky, and I still think they kind of won because I think that they got to start thinking about, giving one of the young guys a starting job. You might as well. You're 2-4, and in that division, you have Houston's at 3-3 with a rookie quarterback, and the Jags are 4-2, and looks like the Jags are here to stay. They're back on track. I think the Jags started 1-2. I think they've won 3 in a row.
Dude, they look like a Super Bowl contender.
They're back to being a contender. They look awesome for sure. But Ravens 4-2, first place by themselves, but right behind them, Bengals. The Bengals are back, and Jamar Chase is back, and Jamar Chase is actually in the top 10 in receiving yards already. After starting off so slow, he's got over 500 yards receiving, and he's being dominant. And
he's always open.
They're 3-3. He is always open, except when Burrow threw him the ball and it was an interception because he wasn't open. So that was wow.
Well, I said that.
Herbert just
you know why I said that?
him.
Because he wore. I said it because he wore a 7-Eleven chain because he said he's always open.
I know. And then in that game, he throws a pick and he's completely covered. It was so funny. I was like, he wasn't open there. You can't miss that throw. Herbert's got a touchdown right here to Allen if he makes the throw. He just overthrows.
Sometimes Herbert doesn't have the little finesse on the ball.
No, he just throws a laser.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a touch.
You know
who has
you're
a
right.
touch? You know who doesn't have the velocity on the ball, but has a very good touch?
Mac?
Tua.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. 100%.
Tua's ball is the most catchable ball ever.
Yeah, you're right.
But obviously his velocity is not like that. I mean, this
No.
guy could probably, if I had to pick who throws the fastest baseball, I would say it's Herbert.
Yeah, that's how kind of like Cam Newton was. Cam Newton had a crazy arm like that too.
But he just kind of, it's his touch. But right now, struggling, 17-10. It's a big game for either. I think Cowboys can afford a loss more than the Chargers, but also Cowboys in the media will not be able to afford.
Well, the media, the whole thing. Do you notice on every Monday, or I guess tomorrow will be Tuesday, after football, it's like, regardless of how the game's panned out, all they're talking about on ESPN is the Jets and the Cowboys.
For now, yeah.
You know, this season at least.
It happens.
Always the Cowboys.
There was it was fun to get Miami talk. Today I woke up, there was none.
Yeah, dude,
it's
kind of
there was a couple Tyreek Hill talks, but I was surprised. I was like, what the heck? I was like, oh, cool, we're 5-1. No, and then because the first 3 weeks when we were, oh wow, we did have some talk. I think obviously after Sunday, there will be talk for whoever wins that because they'll be 6-1, and it's a big win for both teams. Whoever wins that game, but the Bengals are officially back. I would like to say that they are back and they're 3-3. And if we go look at some of their games, they have a bye week now. Give time for everyone to get healthier. And then they have the 49ers.
Yeah.
Tough. Bills.
Be a great game.
Texans, Ravens. Not the easiest schedule.
But that's why I love.
So they could definitely lose 2 of those.
Yeah.
But if they even lose 1.
That's why you love football. We were talking about this even last year too with the Bengals. They had a slow start, but it's like it doesn't really. You can start 0-2, 0-3.
They started off
and just figure it out.
Yeah,
you know?
They started off 0-2. You could figure that. You could start 0-2 or 1-3. They started 1-3 this year.
Wow.
0-2 last year. If you have a franchise quarterback like that, yes. I don't think if you've had a quarterback that's been to the Super Bowl and knows what this guy's been to the AFC Championship. He knows how to win.
Well, it's also like we were talking about. It's just the schedules. Sometimes the tougher schedules or in the tougher games are in the first 4 games, and then you have an easier schedule in the last.
Yeah. So you know for us, we have the hardest ranked schedule left.
Nice.
Miami.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a perfect example. Right.
So we'll see what happens. The truth will be told.
But it's better to start out hot, though, right?
Sure.
Yeah. With the easy game.
I look at it like this: Miami has 2 of the next 3 games are the Chiefs, Chiefs, Eagles, Patriots. If we go 2-1, it's over after that. The next 5 games are all against losing teams or 500 teams, and then the schedule gets hard in the end. What a laser!
Wow.
And a first down.
Dude, these Cowboys defensive backs are good trying to get the ball out.
So, but Bengals, man, they have a tough schedule. Even if they walked out of those 4 games 1-3, that would put them at 4-6. If they go 2-2, they're 5-5. If they go 3-1, they're 6-4. It's still, it puts them in a tough position heading, later in the season. But they got a tough schedule. But 3-3, they started off 1-3. They've won 2 in a row. Jamar Chase looks great. I'm a firm believer in this. They didn't give him the first down here. Chargers run. They get the first down. They're driving. There's 9 minutes left. They're almost at midfield. 17-10 Dallas.
Dude, this is like, I know we're not on this game yet, but I was thinking about the Vikings.
Okay, I have them here. I have the Vikings. We could jump into the Vikings. The Vikings here, where are they? So Vikings, I have it written down here. Vikings next games, they're 2-4 right now. We talked about a slow start. We know they can win. They have a great offensive coach. Their next game is hard, though. They're playing a team that just lost in the 49ers.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
But then after that, they have Packers, Falcons, Saints, all winnable games. They could easily be 3-1, and they could be sitting at 5-5 with 7 games left, right in the wild card race.
And they play at home, national televised game.
But I will jump on the bandwagon. Almost throws a pick there. That's what Herbert does. I will be on the bandwagon of Vikings. I'll go ahead and say this. Vikings will be the 7th seed in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, so that's kind of an example of like the reverse of the Dolphins. They'll probably end up. They could end up with us, give or take 2 or 3 games. But if the Dolphins lose a little more later in the season, Vikings lose earlier in the season. They're both very good teams. I just saw that Justin Jefferson's probably going to have like 3 more weeks out, though. Like there's no way they can be beating these good teams without their best player. I mean, they beat the Bears yesterday. Oh my God, dude!
I don't know what's happening here.
No way. Chargers got the ball.
I don't know what's happening. There was it seemed like somebody was blocked into somebody. That was Chargers just punted the ball. It seems like it's their ball now in Cowboys
Prescott's
territory.
pissed.
Nope, they're giving it to Dallas.
Yeah, baby.
So, all right, here's the deal. Vikings, I could see being the 7th seed. If the playoffs started today, could you pull it up?
Yep. Pull what up?
If the playoffs started today in the NFC, who's in it?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is
Playoff picture is
Philly, Lions, 49ers,
Philly, Niners, Lions.
Bucks are the 4 division winners.
Yep.
Wild card 1 would be Seattle still. And then wild card 2 would be Dallas.
Yep.
Assuming they win.
What about wild card 3?
Wild card 3 would be. It could be. You could say it's the Rams. It could also be.
It's the Rams.
Is it them over the? Because they're what 3-3.
Yeah, and then the Commanders are 8. Would be
with 3-3 as well.
Yeah. Falcons are sneaking in there too, but dude,
I don't believe in that team right there. The Falcons and Commanders are the same exact team. They
Yeah,
win one
right.
week and they lose the next week.
Yeah.
You cannot be trusted. First of all, Commanders and Falcons, never bet on that game. Whether they're in it or not, just don't bet on it because they could win, but they also could lose. And we've learned that about the Commanders and Falcons. You cannot bet on either of those teams, even if the Chiefs are playing the Falcons or the Commanders or the Eagles are. Just do not touch those games because they could magically win, and they also could definitely lose. They could throw. Each quarterback has thrown 3 touchdowns this year and also thrown 3 picks.
Yeah.
I've never seen them the same exact team.
Yeah.
So that's how we feel about those
and
teams.
It's always the early game.
I thought the Bears were going to make a resurgence, but they're 1-5, and now it doesn't seem like he's going to even play next week.
No.
So
Is his wrist? Or his hand?
yeah, I don't see. I listen. If you're them, I think he wants to. He wants to definitely.
What?
I think he definitely wants to. Tank if you're the Bears now at 1-5. I mean, it would take. You would have to. I just don't see him pulling off 3-4 wins in a row to make a run at least like the Vikings did.
It seems like since the Panthers are 0-6, it seems like they almost already have the first pick locked up. The Bears, so they could.
The Panthers, 0-6. Yes, I do think I will say this
because they got the Panthers pick.
Yeah, I mean he's blocked into him, so that's legal. But does the guy touch the ball? Idiot. Why would he go for it like that? No, that should be Chargers ball. That absolutely should be Chargers ball. If that's what they're reviewing, this idiot touches the ball. What a moron. It's going to be Chargers ball in Dallas territory.
Why do they do that?
Jags are officially here. Jags are moving up in the power rankings too because they're 4-2. They started off 1-2. They've won 3 in a row. They look good defensively. Offensively, it's fine. We still want Lawrence to have like a 3-4 touchdown game and show up big, but they're 4-2. And it looks like they're in control of their division. The Colts, you got the Colts. Anthony Richardson's out for the year. They're not going to play him again.
Minshew looks
Stroud's
bad.
Playing great. Probably your rookie of the year so far. Maybe we'll see how the year ends. But they're 3-3.
I mean, dude,
already better than you thought. So that's a win. But they're not going to hang there late in the year. Late in the year, they're not going to be competing with the Jags. And Tennessee, listen, they're not good, but they're going to win some games. But they're not going to be. The Jags are going to run away with this division. Mm-hmm. I just think you're going to start seeing them run away with it now, especially that they're going to start playing the division way more. They're going to pull away. They got a game lead, 6 games in. It looked a little shaky, but I think going forward, they're going to have the easiest road to the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean, the Texans are like a game out of the playoff picture
for now. But I'm not worried about that. I think that momentum carries, and I think Houston can win some games here, but I think the Jags have I think you're sitting here in December. Excuse me, Jags have 1 or 2, at least a 2-game lead. You know?
Yeah, Jags look great. I think they're going to be in the AFC Championship game this year.
Really? You want to start a fight? You think they're going to be in the AFC Championship game based off of what we've seen in 6 weeks? Why? So you think it's going to be the Jags versus Miami?
Jags versus Chiefs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think Jags look better than Miami so far?
I didn't say that. I think they're down.
No, but you're rooting. You're rooting for them. So I need to know, so I have ammo. You're rooting for the Jags over Miami. If you were a good friend,
100%.
you would want me to have joy. You would want me to enjoy.
Oh
something
no, dude!
I've never experienced.
I need you to.
You
my
want
season,
me to
my
suffer.
football season is half. I already got a lot on my plate with both these teams I root for, and then I'm rooting so much against your team.
That's
because I don't like because you get so you. I don't like seeing you. It's not that you're
you don't
happy.
Like seeing me happy.
I like seeing you happy, but I just don't like.
I'm passionate.
For instance, the past few years, I was kind of rooting for the Dolphins a little bit because of you, because I was like, oh, it's cute. The Dolphins go 9-8, sneak in the playoffs. But now that they're 5-1, I don't want them to. I want them to lose every game now. I can't have you. I can't have your team be
confident to say.
I can't have your team be one of the best teams in the league.
Unfortunately, it's going to be like that for the whole year.
Okay.
And I'm sorry to tell you this because I even said on my Dolphins recap video, I said if Mike White starts for the Dolphins for the rest of the year at 5-1, we still go 9-8.
Yeah.
We win. I think we go 4-7 at least, and then 9-8, and probably get into the playoffs. Maybe that's worst case scenario. Yeah. That's how good I think McDaniel is at what's happening.
It's got to be McDaniel.
It's 100%. It's all of them. It's all the things. It's like it's got to be Belichick or Brady. It's obviously Brady, but it's also Belichick. It's it's also Tyreek. You know what I mean? Like,
people get it's weird.
It's all of the things. But it's like, listen, if Mike White starts, they're not winning the way they're winning. It's clearly Tua's helping. And if Tyreek goes down, I don't. That's the difference. But when they talk about the MVP. Tyreek's having a great year, and I think it's great. But if Tyreek's out, do I still think we're winning these games and playing well? Yes, because I think they have so many fast players. And I think their running game, they've ran for over 200 yards 5 games in a row. Waddle is barely getting the ball because Tyreek's taking it. Then he's just going to get the ball. Yeah. So I think that, yes, they're still winning. If Tua goes down, I think it's a bigger loss than Tyreek.
Interesting. Did you see what McDaniel said when they asked him about – it's a meme going around now. They asked him about the acquisition of Chase Claypool, and he goes –
Tight end?
No, the wide receiver.
No, they might use him as a tight end.
Oh, I didn't see. Well, now this makes sense because he said it was weird because we definitely weren't looking for any wide receiver help. And then the meme is saying like, good, then they got their guy because Chase Claypool's been trashed the past few years. But yeah, so they're gonna make him a tight end.
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
From intel is that Chase Claypool will be getting reps as a tight end.
Good. I mean, he's been pretty abominable the past 2 years.
Well, this is his last chance.
Yeah.
So that's why they get last chance guys to see what you can do.
You see, there's a play a few years ago when he was on the Steelers when it was like late in the game. It was a big game.
Oh, and they're supposed to clock the ball and he's celebrating.
Yeah, he's celebrating the first down.
That was a bad throw, Herbert. You got a wide open number 5. You got to score a touchdown here, Herbs.
When you watch this, you just think, wow. I mean,
I'm shocked. I just thought that the Chargers had a bye week. They're going to come out strong. I know Dallas has been a little inconsistent. I'm thinking Chargers got to win. They started off slow. They're 3-2 now. It looks like they're back on track, right?
Yeah, but we think of these games.
Oh, they're 2-2. I'm sorry.
We think of, they had a bye already. So they could get hot late in the year, but we think of these games from like a fan's perspective. Any given Sunday, any given day, wow.
Oh, he's short. They got to go for this. Yeah, I understand, but just evaluating the way they played the last 2 games, I'm like, okay, they're getting the ball rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
And in every game, they've only lost. The 2 losses are by 3 points. So they could easily be 4-0 if.
But they could be 1-3 because Staley almost fucked them against the Raiders too. As a Raiders fan, yesterday at the Raiders fans are saying they should be 4-2 because they should have beat the Chargers.
That's the argument. Every year. Wow, so Asian. Every year, if you take the team that goes 6-11, every 6-11 team or 7-9 and 7-10 team. Now that there's 17 games, every single one of those teams, you can go through their schedule, and there's 3 games they could have won by like a field goal, but they didn't, and that's the difference between the teams that go 10-7 that are playoff teams that they win those closer games, and then the elite teams, they win 12, 13 games. That's what the difference is. There's the elite teams that are Super Bowl contenders, and then there's the teams like the Dolphins were last year, or like the Steelers were last
Raiders
year, or the Raiders. Like they just they won. It bounced their way. So if you're starting off this way and it's not bouncing your way, You're going to be the team at the end of the year that's 7-10 that doesn't get in.
Does that come down to coaching or just veteran experience? Because for instance, last night with Dayball and Tyrod Taylor, they messed up really bad.
That's the struggle between a backup and a starter.
Here we go. Easy. Open. Wow.
There you go.
That over
tie game 17-17.
34? Would you have 41?
It's 41.
Who is that? Why do they keep showing her?
Need a fast touchdown right here by the Cowboys or 2 field goals. Now here's the deal, man. That's the difference between a backup. I mean, like when you have, listen, the Dolphins versus Bills playoff game.
Yeah,
they're driving to get in field goal range to tie the game. Miscommunication, delay a game. That's the backup issues. That's the difference between a starter and a backup. I don't want to say it's coaching. Like you saw him screaming at Tyrod Taylor. I mean, we have it here right here. The Giants should have won that game, man. They should have won up 9-0. And then if you're sitting there late at the game, they're in field goal range. They got a call. They got closer. I mean, bro, all they have to do is kneel the ball out and kick a game-winning field goal. But because of Tyrod Taylor, you got to have awareness. And that's the reason you're not a starter in this league is because of situations like that.
Do you think that last play was a flag as well?
Oh, of course.
It was weird. They just didn't want to call it twice in a row.
Called because they got 2 chances.
Yeah, you're right.
So I can go to sleep at night going, that's a missed call, but you also had 2 plays to score a touchdown and you didn't.
Yeah.
So then you don't deserve to win.
Yeah.
We gave you 2 shots. The first down, you didn't do anything. It was a weird play call. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
win that game.
Yeah.
And even before that, it's first and goal from the 5 before the first. Like you're down there. You have a chance to throw the ball twice and you run it there.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of messed up things right there. The Bills got away with one, man. And that's what good teams do. They get away with some of these like this. And that's why the Bills are going to win 10-plus games.
But the Bills gave it away. Josh Allen, that terrible throw to Dawson Knox, got the first down, sealed it up. And then they're like, okay, kick a field goal, misses the field goal.
Oh, yeah.
So like that looked like a bad team.
It looks like it's weird, man. They played such a perfect game against Miami and the Washington Commanders. Those 2 weeks in a row,
right.
No turnovers, flawless. You're like, this is a Super Bowl team. And then 2 weeks in a row now,
where was that Dolphins game? That was in Buffalo. You were there.
And then 2 weeks in a row now, who did Buffalo play last week?
They played the Jags. They lost in London, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They lose to the Jags, and they barely beat one of the lower 4 teams in the NFL. Mm-hmm. It's just weird. So that's why I will give you this. If there was going to be a mishap, it could be next week against the Patriots. But, again, I think at the end of the day, Allen turns it on in the 4th. Like, the thing about the Patriots is if they're going to steal a game, it's not going to be a game against the Bills because no matter how bad the Bills play, it's still going to be a 1-possession game in the 4th quarter. Uh-huh. And something's going to happen. Yeah. If they had an offense, the thing is their offense is so bad that they can't go up 14 or 17-0 on a team.
Yeah.
So if the Patriots are winning against the Bills, it's going to be like 16-13, and then there's going to be 45 seconds left, and then Josh Allen's going to get in field goal range to send it to OT and then fucking get the goddamn win.
Dude, it's almost not even like I know it is a talent thing 100%, but it almost feels like more of a lack of confidence from the whole team. Like watching Devontae Parker drop that ball yesterday was almost like he didn't expect it to be a good throw. You know, it's almost he's like, Jesus, it's right here. You know, when you've played football before, you're like, you
caught that because he's not that bad. I remember even with us, he makes some of those catches sometimes, but he is a jump ball guy. I think that's a hard catch. There's 2 guys coming into him. He's getting hit by the defenders.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the game. You know what, an interesting little thing
that's
about
the Jordan in players.
You want to know a very interesting tidbit? Did you watch the game?
Yeah.
So did you see at the end of the game, Mac takes a safety, right?
Uh-huh.
Instead of taking a turnover on, I think might have been 3rd down though, but a safety at that point late in the game is better than a turnover on downs because they could still punt it away. So then I was talking to one of the analytics guys after the game.
Wasn't that 3rd down when he got this?
It was 3rd down.
Yeah, so he didn't take it. He got sacked.
Yes, you're right. But
you're saying if it got to 4th down and it was a turnover and downs, the game's over, yes.
Yes, but it's not over with the safety. I was talking to the Raiders analytics guy. Yeah. He was doing some research with the research department after the game. He said, could the Patriots punter have onside that safety punt? You have to drop kick it.
He did.
And no, it wasn't onside.
They tried to onside it, though.
Not really. I mean, it was it was pretty not. It wasn't a good onside kick then.
Well, I mean, but that was what they're like. This is a weird situation where a free kick is being onsided because you have to free kick the onside part. You can't.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a good.
But he tried to. They weren't just punting it. They were trying to recover it.
Okay.
They pooched it and then it went straight to the guy. He only pooched it 15 yards. They were trying to recover it.
It was terrible.
Yeah, but I mean that's a very hard. You don't get to place it down and do the onside kick. You have to free kick it. So they don't practice that often because
that's what I was going to say. The Raiders punter practice that all the time.
He does.
That's what I was talking to the Raiders staff about.
So then maybe they all do practice it. I would think they all do.
Yeah, but the Patriots, who knows? They probably that's one of those things that you never really
think that would happen. But they definitely tried. It just wasn't. Bro, first of all, they make the onside kick so hard to get. You can't even move most of your players on the same side anymore. Because they figured if you are in that situation, wow.
And I think the last person to do that punt, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. You know how Pat McAfee was he was a punter, but back in the day they had a lot of the punters do the kickoffs.
Yeah.
So he recovered his own onside kick one time.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Right to the middle. Yeah, I remember that famous play. That was good. Oh, man. Dak Prescott. Gonna lose this bet. Lions and Bucks. Lions made Bucks look not like a contending team, but good thing they're in the South and on a bad division. Bucks are gonna win the division.
Yeah, dude.
At this point. But they kind of got dominated by the Lions.
Yeah, and going back to talking to a bunch of Raider fans, they all wish they got Baker Mayfield.
What Raider fans?
Raider fans and staff. Apparently, the staff was pretty split. There was a few scouts that were really pushing heavily to get Baker, but then they just immediately nixed it and went with Garoppolo.
Because McDaniels wanted Garoppolo, probably.
They wanted Garoppolo, and I think they wanted a guy that kind of is more coachable and doesn't make many mistakes.
I hate Garoppolo. I'm watching him play. I was like, I hate this. I go, this ain't it, bro.
Yeah.
This ain't it, and it sucks. If I'm them, I'm calling. If I'm the Raiders, I'm calling Chicago right now.
To see if Fields?
I'll be like, let us have Fields. I'll take him at 3-3 and coach.
What about? Is it too early to call for Cousins?
I think he's staying. I think they're going to go for a run.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I didn't realize he has a no trade clause.
Well, I was saying. I mean,
so he already said he's like, I'm not into that right now.
Well, what's his name keeps talking about playing Kaepernick.
Get him out of here. That's such a. We won't even talk about his name. That's so stupid. The guy hasn't played for 7 years. I'd rather.
He wrote a letter to the Jets 2 weeks ago.
Stupid. It's just like what, bro? You're not like. There's so many better other quarterbacks than you. Imagine not playing something for 7 years.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm gonna play the piano.
You have a piano right there.
Yeah, we have music just in case. So if you say something wrong, I go. Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Cowboys driving. Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL, and we'll get to our top power rankings, our top 10. Lions look good. Bucks, fortunately, I still think are the best team in that division, and I think we'll get to see Baker have. I mean, Baker might find a new home. Baker could end up being the Kirk Cousins,
the guy
to the Bucks going forward. Rams to me are another team that is like, I don't know,
dude. The Rams,
I don't know, dude.
Are probably the most exciting team to watch in the NFL right now.
They played the Cardinals.
Cup is
bro.
back.
They played the Cardinals. When they've played good teams, they didn't play well. So I don't know about them. To me, they're a better Commanders-Falcons team. They win, they lose. They win, they lose.
When do they play the Seahawks? Do they have a bye this week? No, they play the Steelers this week. That'd be a good game. And then they play the Cowboys.
Is it at home?
Cowboys-Rams is going to be a great game in week 8.
Cowboys are going to win.
And then the Rams this week play the Steelers at home. Yes. And that game.
That's such a winnable game for them.
For the Rams, yes, but the thing about Steelers is Steelers fans travel better than almost any team.
Sure.
So that's almost.
But
a
at least
game
Rams
for the
have fans, unlike the Chargers. Like there's more Cowboys fans right now at the game.
Oh, for sure, dude.
I just don't. Here's what I don't understand. I got to see. That's a winnable game for both Steelers and Rams.
Yeah.
That's a game I'm not touching. But I don't know about the Rams. Cardinals are officially gonna be bad. They're 1-5. Eagles and Jets. Annoying that the Jets are 3-3, and now they're trying to push this. Oh, is Rodgers going to be back before the year ends?
So annoying. They're saying January.
There's no way.
But they said Cam Akers recovered from that injury in 4 months, and that'll be October, November, December, January, 4 months. So maybe closer to 5 months. Rodgers. and he doesn't have a brace. He's throwing on it a little bit. But then McAfee was saying like he just obviously he has to move, but he could kind of just sit in the pocket and do his thing.
I got to be honest, cutting you off right now. Dak is making some plays right now on this final drive. It's tied 17-17. They're driving right now. They're close to field goal range.
CeeDee Lamb he's
at the 32-yard line. They're driving and Dak is playing a lot better. Dak is a little inconsistent, but this game he's showing up here in this last drive. For me, I'd like to see a field goal, and then Chargers go down there and kick a field goal and go to overtime again. They got to hold them.
I mean, this game's got.
We're down to 4 minutes. If they get a first down here, they could run the clock out. They got to stop them here.
I mean, why do that play right there?
Because you want to keep the clock moving. Because now look at this. It's second down. If they get a first down right here, they can take this clock down to where Chargers have to start using some of their timeouts. It's getting scary if you're a Chargers fan. You guys got to make a play on defense.
If you're a Chargers fan, what's your like? What do you complain about? Because they talent. If you're a Chargers fan, they have one of the best talented teams in the league.
Underperforming.
But why? Like, what do you say? It's a coaching thing.
Whoever loses this game is still in the top 10 for me. They would be the 10th team. Oh wow,
you're out of your mind.
What?
If the Chargers are 2-3, they're not in the top 10.
Oh, if the Chargers lose, I'm sorry. If the Dallas loses, they'd be 10.
Okay.
But if the Chargers lose, I would probably have to put.
Because I
guess I would put maybe someone from the NFC South in there.
Yeah, but did you watch any of the Seahawks-Bengals game?
Yeah. I watched.
Like the Seahawks don't look that bad. I mean, just a little poor execution by Geno.
It was a bad game. It was a bad game for them because you got to understand. Going into that game, they were 3-1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're 3-2, bro. They looked great their first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That was a very bad game. I also think they're playing a desperate team. It was weird that they were favored in that game.
Uh-huh.
They were playing a desperate team.
You're
that
right.
could
It
not
was
lose.
weird. Yeah.
Dude, the Bengals could not go 2-4.
No.
At that point, you're 2-4. You still have to play the Ravens, the Browns again.
Yeah.
You've already lost to the Browns and Ravens. You're not in a good situation to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because seven losses could be too much.
Yeah.
You could make it, but with how competitive it is, maybe you will. But Eagles don't look good. They're 5-1. They're the worst 5-1 team out of the 4.
Dude, I'm.
Would you agree?
I 100% agree, and I think. You got to put the Lions at the number 3. Out of those 4, you got to put the Lions at number 3. But I'm very excited.
I can't put
the
Lions above the 49ers.
Or you can't put them above the Niners or the Dolphins at this point. But like close, dude. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we'll get to it. I mean, I'll listen. We could get right into it. We'll just go into the Jets though at 3-3. I could argue putting the Jets at 10 at 3-3. To overcome all that and be 3-3,
you're right, but
defense is elite.
But then you're putting a little emotion. Yeah,
I'm sorry. The fact that they're not on here is I'm sorry. The Browns are in the top 10.
The Browns have a winning record, right? They're 3-2.
They are.
Yeah.
3-2. Okay, if I'm going to redo this right now, my top 10.
I think you got Deshaun back next week too.
They have their defense is the best in the league right now.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do a top 10, number 10, I have to. I'm putting.
I know. I think I know what you're wrestling with right now. Are you wrestling with Bucks Browns?
No. I'm taking the Bucks out
of the top 10. Dude, their division. I thought you were going to say no.
Yes.
The Bucks are 7. Really? They're out of the top 10?
Well, all right. Listen, if I'm going to give you the top 5, usually you want to do it from 10 up. This is where I'm struggling. The top 5's easy. This week. And only because of what's happened, and not as a fan, Miami's won.
Okay.
All right?
I can get behind that, yeah.
And I think, how about this? Whoever wins next week, you could argue is... No, I would say if Philly won, they still wouldn't be number 1 based off of what happens with the Chiefs and 49ers. Don't like what they've done.
It's tough to put, actually...
So I can't put Philly at 1 even if they win next week. So right now, Miami's 1. 2, I have to put the Chiefs. Although I did not like the way they looked against the Broncos. But they've won 5 in a row. They're 5-1. They've won 5 in a row. They have to be number 2. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, yes, they lost. They lost some star players in that game. But I still have them in my top 5 because of how elite they are. And they played the best defense. But they're still there. So San Francisco's got to be 3.
What? So
I can't put the Lions above them.
I know. No, but I mean... Why, if the Chiefs are hot, 5 in a row. They lost a very close game to the Lions. The one game that the Dolphins lost was more so a blowout. Same with the Niners, lost a very close game to the first team. So I'm just challenging you a little bit.
Yeah, you can.
Wouldn't it make sense to put one of those teams? Like I kind of agree with you.
Well, San Francisco lost this week. We didn't. They're the most recent team to lose.
You're right. So I agree with that part. You're right. But
you could argue that for the Chiefs. I'll bet you some people will have Chiefs. But the way they looked against Denver, we put up 70 against Denver. Denver almost came back and tied the game.
You're right.
Okay? And then also, all year, Chiefs' defenses look great. Offense is still, like, Mahomes hasn't looked that crazy. And right now, Tua's better on paper statistically this year.
Yeah.
We lead the league in all offensive categories, passing, rushing, and receiving. That's incredible. No team's ever done that. So just with all that heat coming in, I'm putting them at 1. And I will say, like, even in the game they lost to Buffalo, it was because they were put in turnover situations and they gave Buffalo an easy ride. But I'll put the Lions at 4.
Okay. So I have
but because they only lost 1, I have to keep Philly in the top 5 still. They're still 5-1.
Okay.
So all 5-1 teams have to be in the top 5. Agree?
Yeah.
And then the only other team that isn't, I guess they're all 5-1. There's 5-1 teams.
Who?
What are we saying? Lions are 5-1 too.
Who did the Dolphins play?
Oh, so all 5-1 teams are in. Who did what?
So I'm just looking at something really quick. The Dolphins. Okay. So the Dolphins, besides they scored 20 points against the Bills and 24 against the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Which is low for them this year.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the Chiefs game, they've been putting up numbers, and then not much against the Broncos, national television, not many points this game as we expected. So is there anything, even like last night, Bills put up a bunch of points, just not against the Giants. Why are these teams not?
But Bills 2 weeks in a row. Something's weird.
No, but I'm saying like with national televised games. They're not. It's not. It's like our teams playing more conservative in the.
No, I think it's the teams play harder.
So that like both like other teams play harder against them.
So then based off of your evaluation, I haven't seen all the scores for Sunday night or Monday Night Football. We'd have to go through all of them. We should bet the under against the Eagles Dolphins next week.
It's Sunday night.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a good offensive game too. Jeez.
I just don't. I gotta think. Let's see what it is right now.
Maybe I'll probably tease the under then.
Right now, it's down to 1.5. Matchup predictor has Miami winning, but Philly's favored by 1.5, and the over/under is 52.
I'll definitely tease the under, dude.
You think it's gonna be?
Would it be 57, or what's that? 58.
I gotta think that each team can score 3 touchdowns. Oh wow!
Pollard almost made an OBJ.
We got an overtime game maybe setting up here. They got to kick a
the
long field
Cowboys
goal.
are gonna. I mean, both of these teams can just blow games.
Yeah,
you know, like
they got to kick a field goal. So all right, 1 through 5: Miami, Kansas City, San Francisco, Lions, Philly. All 5 of those teams are 5-1. Philly and San Francisco both lost. They drop down. Lions move up 1. We don't want to give up on 49ers. We still think they're elite. Philly looks the worst. 6, the first team outside of the top 5 is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep.
You agree?
I agree.
Okay. Here comes the controversial 7. If the Cowboys pull this off, I will put them at 7.
Interesting.
If not, then I put the Bills still there.
I'd keep the Bills
as
there.
ugly as they are. So right now, I'll put Bills. If the Bills played the Cowboys next week, who's winning? The Bills are.
Yeah. I
believe that they'll come back and they'll play them hard and they'll win. All right, so we're putting them at 7. That puts 8.
You gotta put the Ravens, right? At 8?
I think I got to put the Ravens.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you could even arguably put the Ravens above the Bills and Cowboys.
I think Bills beat the Ravens.
Okay.
I think Bills actually would,
you know what's weird?
I think if the Bills play the Jags next week again, they win. I just think that you can't play. Listen, if the Bills next week lose to the Patriots, that's 3 games in a row that they're off. Then I think something's wrong. I go, then what we saw them do against Miami and Washington was fake.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Something's really wrong if they lose to the Patriots because that would be 3 weeks in a row that they've struggled offensively after tearing us up.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't make sense. But we have 7 teams. We would all agree that all 7 of those deserve to be in the top 10. If Dallas loses, they're out of the top 10. But if they win, they're in the top 10.
Yeah.
That's why we'll put an asterisk next to them. But besides that, the Browns are in the top 10.
Yep.
Browns have to be in the top 10. Whether they're 10 or 9, I don't know. But the Browns are in the top 10. And then you have to put the Ravens because they're in first place. And they're one of the top 10 teams. So with the Ravens in there, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams with the Bills. And then your top 10 is Browns, Ravens, and Dallas. So the order is just determining what the outcome of this game is. Whether Dallas is 10 or whether they're 8.
What if they're 11?
Then who else would you put in
You got to put the
Bucks?
Buccaneers at 10, right?
Would you think the Bucks could beat Dallas? I don't think they would.
No.
Next week they play, even if they lose this, Dallas is winning. Just think they are. That's where I'm at on that.
Oh, they play next week?
No, if they did.
Oh.
If they played each other next week, who would you bet your money on? I would bet that Dallas is going to win.
Yeah. So who do we?
So
we're talking about the Buccaneers. Got the Falcons next week. They'll probably go 4-2.
Yeah.
And
so then we can solidify them to another top 10 team.
Oh, this is gonna be a tough.
But they have to win that game. That's again.
I think the Cowboys have a bye next week.
That'd
be tough.
Wow, they need it.
Yeah, they need a win.
I will say this though: the Falcons are that team that could all of a sudden also win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
They're like, what the hell? I thought the Falcons suck.
I mean,
here they are driving.
I mean, he could have just tore his knee on that play. That tackle.
2-minute warning right now.
Dude, amazing game next week. Lions-Ravens.
So many amazing games next week.
This is
so many amazing games that we are going to get to our picks.
Hell yeah.
Now, this game doesn't matter. We both picked the Cowboys. But if we go to the day, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am 10-5 as of right now for this week's picks. You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You are 9-6.
Okay.
So I gained 1 on you. That means for the year, Anthony is 50 and 29. And I am 48 and 31.
Wow.
2 games back. And we'll add a loss or a win after this game is done. Let's get to our picks, guys. Here we are. Week 7 picks. Thursday night football. Jags at the Saints. The Saints are favored by 3.
Did you say the Saints are favored?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Seems like easy money, huh?
Easy money and the under on that one, dude.
I'm taking the Jags. I think we're both taking the Jags.
100%.
The Jags keep it rolling.
Yeah, get out of here with the Saints, dude.
Get out of here with the Saints.
I will say, though, that Derek Carr had some of his most impressive throws I've ever seen him make yesterday.
And then we have Browns at Colts. I think it just this should be a higher spread, assuming even if Deshaun Watson doesn't come back. Colts are done.
Yep.
What's his name? Minshew didn't look good at all.
Terrible.
Brownies. Bills at Patriots. As much as I want this to happen the way I want, they're favored by 8.5.
Teasing that.
Tease that down, but I'm going with the Bills. You still going to believe in them or what?
I don't think they go 1-6, and this is, and I'll say this is probably.
Here's a chance for me to gain a game on him.
Looking at the schedule, I think they have. Then they got the Dolphins after that. So, and then they got the Colts after that. So this might not be my last time I pick them this season. But if they lose, I definitely will not pick them next week. So I'm picking the Patriots for the last time. If they don't win,
this is his last time. The Patriots single-handedly might get me to tied with you.
Maybe
right in our picks because of your love for them.
Bills look terrible. Patriots.
Oh wow!
Patriots scored more points than the Bills. Patriots scored more points than the Bills did last week, and it's a division game and go either way. I'm picking the Patriots.
Man, who would have thought the under hit on this? Would have thought the over for sure when I teased down. All right, we got Commanders at Giants. Boy, do I not want to touch this game.
Oh my, yeah,
that's a scary game.
Tough. This could be the biggest. Yeah, dude, I don't even know. I'm going Commanders.
Are you?
Yep. I like Sam Howell. I like the way they play. Oh,
He threw a pick.
Herbert threw a pick.
Herbert.
That was like a Mac Jones throw, dude. What are you doing? Let's go, Dak. Dak's the guy.
Well, we both won, so that's 51 for you and 49 for me.
Nice. Why do they keep showing this girl, dude?
I don't know. Because she's funny and they're being racist. Commanders at Giants. You're going to take the Commanders, huh?
Taking the Commanders, dude.
Am I going to be dumb here?
I don't think the Giants is a dumb pick here.
I don't either, and I'm taking them.
Okay.
I don't
They're
think.
at home.
I think they got to win one.
Stephon Gilmore shouldn't have given him up.
Maybe. It depends. But Commanders did they just win? They just won.
Yeah.
So Commanders go back and forth. Yeah, they're going to lose. I'm taking the Giants here.
Okay.
Lions at Ravens. This is an interesting game. This is one of the games of the week, probably.
Yeah.
I think it really. I mean, this is big for either team wins it. It legitimizes. All right, if Ravens win and they go 5-2, now they're like sixth. They're a top 6-7 team.
Yeah.
All right. Ravens. This is a tough game to win in Baltimore. Okay, it's not easy. What?
I mean, you root for the Cowboys, and then they make themselves so unlikable, though. Jesus Christ! Like they just won the Super Bowl.
Look, what's going on is you got what's his name right there, Eckler.
What is that throw, dude?
I told you he always makes bad throws. This is my argument against Herbert versus Tua. Better athlete, Herbert, but his adjustments are bad, and he makes bad decisions when it's game time. Game crunching. Everybody throws a bad ball, right?
Yeah,
Even Mahomes throws a pick every game.
Yeah.
Tua throws a pick sometimes every game. But in the fourth quarter, they come back strong. They don't throw it when it's to lose a game.
Yep.
That's all my only thing. So, Lions at Ravens. This is a tough one, man. I don't like the way the Ravens have been. They've managed to make it to 4-2. I'm going with the Lions.
Same.
You are.
But this is tough. I think I've mentioned this before. The Ravens are my least favorite team in the NFL. But
to watch. They're ugly.
No, like of all.
Oh yeah, you said that.
Like the Jets. Yeah, I hate the Jets. But second to that, I hate the Ravens. Just growing up, the only team that would beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game is the Ravens. But
this could go the other way. But I think Lions. Man, imagine the Lions are 6-1 and they win a road game, and they've played great on the road, by the way.
Yeah, and so I'm picking.
And the Ravens have looked shaky.
And I'm rooting for the Lions heavy, 6-1. Then the Raiders come into town. Home game, maybe they take a little lax off. Maybe Raiders can sneak a win there.
Everybody can dream.
Yep.
Lions. All right, Raiders at Bears. I got to roll with the punches here. I'll finally give you one here. The Raiders are going to win this one because Fields is not starting. And they are going to start talking about what they're going to do with Justin Fields after they lose this one. And the Raiders are going to be how about this? I'll say the Raiders win, but it's ugly. It's like 20-14. And you're like, you got to beat this team. And they don't because they fuck up.
This is their one.
Garoppolo throws another 3 picks.
Garoppolo might not play for like
good.
5. Did you hear what happened? He might have internal bleeding.
Really?
It's bad. He got hit hard.
Falcons at Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks here.
You got me for the Raiders, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bucks.
Yep. Although the Falcons are coming off a loss, so they're supposed to win, but I'm going with the Bucks here. I think they bounce back and they take control of their division, 4-2. Steelers at Rams. This is a game to look out for.
Yeah.
Anyone could win. Rams 3-3. I think the Rams will be there for that last wild card at the end of the year.
Yep.
They'll be fighting for it, which at one point I did say they would maybe be a wild card team. Then I jumped back on it because the media was telling me they're going to be the worst team in the league.
We flip-flopped on it.
We did because I was like, oh, everybody's saying that they have 19 like rookies. But I had originally said you can't have Darnold and Kupp and the way they're playing. And they're going to be fighting for that last wild card spot.
Darnold?
Donald.
My bad, dude. My bad.
I'm going to take your Rams.
Same. I don't. The Rams are hot. Steelers are coming off of a bye week
Steelers
away.
Could win this though. That's great.
Yeah.
Cardinals at Seahawks. Seahawks -8. They're back in business.
I think they put up 40 points. Seahawks.
They played bad. He played bad. He didn't look good.
At home, Cardinals.
Packers
Seahawks.
at Broncos. A pick'em game.
Packers
at Broncos.
Yeah.
It's basically -1 Green Bay. Can you even? I can't pick the Broncos up to this point.
No,
I can't. I got to go with Green Bay.
Packers coming off of a bye too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay.
We're looking at one of the worst teams. I'm not going to pick against them. Chargers at Chiefs. Oh, boy,
game of the week.
Are the Chargers in trouble?
I mean, if
there was a game that could be a trap game,
you're right.
This is the one.
100%.
They always play the Chiefs well. The Chiefs are 5-1. They haven't looked good offensively. The Chargers got their backs against the wall. They're 2-3. They can't go to 2-4.
If they go to 2-4, then the Raiders beat the Bears. That's all. 4-3 for the Raiders, second place.
It could happen. I'm going to go
Long
ahead.
season. I'm going with the Chiefs. I mean, I'm not picking against the Chiefs. At home, coming off of a long week, you're going to go with the Chargers? Do it, dude. Let's go. Pick the Chargers, dude. Give me a game up.
It's in Kansas City.
Yeah.
If it was home for the Chiefs again, I mean for the Chargers, I might think about it because I don't want to give up on them yet.
Yeah.
They're just too talented. But the fact that they're going to be 2-4, bro, that means they can only afford to lose 3 more games.
Wow.
If they're 2-4, that there's 11 games left. That means they have to go. They would have to go 8-3.
I mean,
to make the playoffs.
After the Chiefs, they have some winnable games. They have the Bears and the Jets, and then they have.
But the Jets game's not easy, dude.
You're right, and then they got the Lions after the Jets.
Yeah, bro, those are not easy. They have to win both of those. 49ers at Vikings.
And they have the Ravens.
Monday night. Hold on. Well, I guess we'll get to the Sunday night football. Sunday night football -1.5. Eagles are favored. Both 5-1 teams. I'll let Anthony pick his team here first.
I'm picking the Dolphins.
You're picking the Dolphins.
I think they're going to win. I'm heavily rooting for the Eagles, but I think the Dolphins are going to win.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to maybe pick the Eagles here.
Let's go. Pick the Eagles then, dude. Get a game on me.
I think that I would be on cloud 9 if we beat the Chiefs and the Eagles. 2 times in next 3 weeks. I don't even look at the Patriots game. It's not a trap game. No, we don't. Our trap game was just this past week. If there was going to be a trap game, it was against the Panthers. We always will take the Patriots seriously.
It looked like a trap game first quarter.
Yeah. We're not going to take the Patriots lightly. I'm not worried. We're going to win that one, but we're not going to be caught off guard. So I just see ourselves winning more likely in Germany at a neutral playing zone against the Chiefs, and taking the L against the Eagles still puts us at 7-2. Could we be 8-1? I'd be on cloud. I couldn't. If we had beat the Chiefs and Eagles and we're 8-1, your life is gonna suck, Anthony. Your life is gonna suck because I am gonna fucking flop my dick and ass in your face. Straight up, we're gonna hook up like 2 gays. We are gonna, bro. If we're 8-1, bro, I'll text you every morning. I'll be like, the Dolphins are 8-1.
Yeah, that's
bro.
Gonna be annoying.
Are you kidding me? So in my gut, Eagles are coming off of a loss. Are Eagles gonna lose 2 in a row?
I don't see.
Do the Dolphins?
Dude, trust me. I want to pick the Eagles.
I also don't see the Dolphins not scoring at least 21 points against them.
Exactly.
Do I see Eagles putting up 30 against us? They could. If Hurts had a very bad game. He can't have 2 bad games in a row. He comes back strong. He runs all over us. That's our weakness.
So this is interesting, bro. The Dolphins haven't really had. I mean, the Patriots game was a 7-point game. Came down to the last couple minutes.
4 of the Dolphins' wins are against the 4 lowest ranked teams.
And then you got the Chargers game. Was the only game this year that really had them sweating. So I picture either the Eagles winning a close game or the Dolphins winning pretty handily.
I'm down to lose a pick. And I'll put the Eagles for this one.
Interesting. Okay.
Only because
I think this game really enhances both of our journalistic integrity.
I just was so big on I need the Jets to lose. I needed the Eagles to be undefeated. I don't think they lose 2 in a row. It sucks. But you know what? As a Dolphin fan, I have to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
Show me that the Eagles lose 2 in a row. Show me that the Cowboys are a game back of them all of a sudden. And show me that there's a race in the East all of a sudden. Let's root for that for the football fans, that the Eagles and Cowboys are now facing off to fight for the division, or you guys going to let the Eagles run away with the division, and the Dolphins are going to get humbled, and then the Bills win next week against the Eagles easily, and then all of a sudden the Bills and Dolphins are tied again, and people are high on the Bills again. How is it going to happen? Probably like that.
Yeah.
But or the Bills are going to lose to the Patriots and Dolphins are going to beat the Eagles, and I'm on cloud 9. It's not happening. I don't believe it, and I'll believe it when I see it. Monday Night Football, 49ers at Vikings. Can the Vikings turn their season around? with a desperate must win and catch the 49ers off. Does Christian McCaffrey play?
This is going to be one of those games that it's going to come down to it. I don't even know. I think.
I'm not picking against them.
You're putting up against the Niners?
Nah. Again, losing 2 in a row. Why would I do that for the Eagles but not the 49ers, who are definitely a better team? I don't see the 49ers losing 2 in a row. Especially to a team that is 2-4, which I believe that they can make a run, but I think they make that run after this game because then they have the Packers, Falcons, Saints, and I think that's enough to win 3 in a row and put them at 5-5. Like I said, they still can win 3 in a row, but I'm gonna wait 1 more week before they win their 3 in a row.
Okay, so
you want to go with the Vikings? Do it.
It's a oblique injury on McCaffrey. I mean, both these teams might not have their best players, but overall, the Niners are a much better team. It is away, though. It's a tough place to play, Minnesota, but
do it. Take the Vikings for the sake.
I almost did. You just talked me out of the Viking. I'm going with the Niners. You're right. They're not going to lose 2 in a row.
Those are our picks this week, man. Those are our picks, guys. Be safe out there. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think we're wrong? Do you think I'm right? Obviously, I'm right because the Patriots are 1-5 and the Dolphins are 5-1. Just get me out of this next 3-game stretch. If we're fucking 7-2, I'm still on cloud 9. But if we're 8-1, I'm hooking up with guys. That's the truth, man. Just straight up hooking up with guys everywhere.
All right, go Eagles.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
See you guys.